recording in Chennai. Very good evening to all of you, and truly delighted to be amongst you at this valedictory session. When the world is facing uncertainty of the sorts that we see all around us today, India is busy building bridges of trade, bridges of trust, and bridges of transformation. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we have recently concluded a series of very high quality free trade agreements. And today, India enjoys preferential trade access to nearly 2/3 of global trade. All the 9 FTAs done under Prime Minister Modi's watch have been with developed economies who don't compete with India but complement India's journey towards rapid growth. And we are well poised to really take India's growth story to the next level, because we sincerely believe that no nation can become a developed nation unless we open our doors to the international world, to the global economy. And our effort in recent years has been to reform, perform, and transform the Indian economy. In fact, the pace at which Prime Minister Modi is working towards, as a part of his Reform Express, to make processes simpler, procedures, policies more user-friendly, bring about ease of doing business, reduce compliance burden, reduce the criminalization that confronts us on a day-to-day basis. Today, the situation is that the world no longer asks whether to trade with India. Increasingly, the question being asked by nations today is, how quickly can we trade with India? How quickly can we expand business with India? Only today we have signed the joint statement launching the free trade agreement negotiations between India and the 6-nation bloc of the Gulf Cooperation Council, the GCC nations in the Middle East. And an hour after that, in the same room, I was talking to the whole negotiating team which has come down to India from Israel to finalize a free trade agreement. After I finish your engagement and a business standard engagement, I have a video conference with the Chilean counterpart, with whom we are finalizing a new age free trade agreement where we will get greater access to critical minerals. I'm sharing this with you because this is a span of 6 hours this evening, where I've been engaged with 3 free trade agreement negotiations. Friends, the Prime Minister of Canada will be here in a couple of days, and we are hoping to finalize the terms of reference and launch free trade agreement negotiations with Canada early or later this week. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has built this strategic network of free trade agreements as a part of our approach to de-risking through diversified trade partnerships. This is unprecedented in its scale and ambition. We have already started seeing results. Merchandise trade with Australia and UAE, whose free trade agreements were done couple of years ago has doubled since the signing of free trade agreements with these countries. Direction and from the consistent reform program, the performance of different departments and ministries, particularly in the central government during the last 12 years. Your summit theme, reform, perform, and transform, is not just a tagline, it is a living mantra. It is the core of the philosophy of the Modi government and of New India under the decisive leadership of Prime Minister Modi. We recently launched the Export Promotion Mission, which is a significant step designed to help micro, small, and medium enterprises get access to credit. It'll help reduce costs of operation, meet international compliance standards, ship products to demanding markets like the EU, the US, other developed nations, and address structural bottlenecks that have held back India from its true potential. If India's export story must transform, we must translate policy into participation and participation into prosperity. Let me share 4 pathways that can transform our export journey. 1, we will need to take our FTAs to the grassroots, the dissemination of FTA, the awareness about the benefits of these FTAs in goods and services and investments. We have to take to the grassroots. This awareness must go down to the lowest level of production, to clusters, to districts, and to the factory floor. We need the training of trainers. We need physical outreach across the length and breadth of India. We need to explain not just the policy, but the profit out of this policy. When an MSME understands how a tariff cut change can open up new markets for new products, make him a new exporter, how his price in the market will fall, his confidence rises instantly. This awareness is the first step to greater utilization of the benefits under the FTAs. Number 2, quality is no more an option. It's a given. Quality today is the passport to global markets. Standards are no more barriers. They are entry tickets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of zero effect, zero defect, he called it Z, must become the DNA of every single exporter. In fact, if you recall, right from 14, Prime Minister has been focused on quality. He speaks about it at every given opportunity. Number 3, move up the value chain, step by step. For every exporter should ask himself this question: can I move one step higher in the value chain? From cotton to branded garments, from PVC to a finished auto component, from a basic steel product to high quality defense or aerospace parts, from APIs to high quality pharmaceuticals or formulations. Value addition is where jobs increase, margins improve, and India's global standing gets strengthened. Fourth, industry must partner in building local export ecosystems. I urge corporate India to consider an idea. Can each corporation or company or a local association associated with people like all of you adopt a district or adopt a panchayat or adopt a tier 3, tier 4 town? Can you mentor MSMEs in that location? Can you build backward linkages? When large firms work with small firms in the same geography, a district becomes an export ecosystem, and an ecosystem becomes a competitive advantage. Friends, India's export growth story is ultimately a story of confidence, resilience, and aspiration. And it belongs to 140 crore Indians, to 10 or 11 crore MSMEs, to every person in whichever walk of life, whatever profession or vocation each one is involved in. From the weaver in Kanchipuram to the entrepreneur in Chennai, every Indian is now a potential global exporter. Our task is to ensure that the pathway is clear, the support is accessible, and the opportunity is absolutely real. Once again, thank you, CII, for this very important summit on our national export competitiveness. It's very, very relevant. Unless we are high quality, high productivity, we cannot be competitive. Unless we are competitive, we cannot become exporters. And thank you for the leadership that CII has always demonstrated in this journey towards export competitiveness. Grateful to you, friends. Namaskar. Vanakkam and Nandri.
Sir, thank you so much. Every time we listen to you, you charge us up and we leave after your talk, we're so motivated. And I can assure you on behalf of all of CII that you will not find us wanting either on aspiration or on initiative or on speed or on need to build up scale and build global Indian brands. Thank you very much. And as you said, Nandri from Chennai. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you will all agree that that was a fitting finale